Hello and welcome to another Crusader Kings 3 developer diary. And this time we're going to be talking about development and buildings. So, yeah, what do we do inside these lovely provinces that we have ourselves in CK3? Let's have a look. So, greetings. This week's dev diary is all about your holdings on the map, baronies and counties, what they do for you and what you can do with them. As seen in the map dev diary, baronies are now physically present on the map. A group of baronies makes up a greater unit called a county. So here we have an image of the Earl of Thomond. We can see how much control, development, popular opinion, the culture of it, and the faith. And then we can see Limerick itself. It's a castle holding, how much tax you get, how much loot there is, what the levies are, the supply limit, 250 something, maybe, what would that be? Garrison? Yeah, 250 garrison. Level 2 fort level, it's a castle, and I guess this might be the buildings inside it. I guess we'll find out. While certain things are still on per barony level, such as buildings, two of the most important values you'll have to deal with are on a per county basis: development and control. Development is the measure of technological advancement and general infrastructure in a county. Development directly increases taxes and levies you get out of the holdings, and it also unlocks some other special options. Development increases very slowly across the duration of the game, and radiates outwards from a high development counties to those nearby. For example, Constantinople, aka the City of World's Desire, starts with a very high development level. This will slowly spread outwards, reaching the most remote areas much slower than the Greek heartlands. Naturally, there are other ways to increase your development, such as through the Steward's Increased Development task, although this is a fairly slow process, and usually only worth doing in certain counties. Having terrain such as farmland or floodplains in your counties make them ideal candidates for development, and while they've got some levels of development, you can just sit back and enjoy as it slowly spreads throughout the rest of your realm. Alright, well, so where's the development here? Development 2 in the Earl of Thomond, which I assume is Limerick. No, it is, yes. So, development 2, I imagine Ireland's not going to have the highest level of development at this period of time, so 2 seems relatively low. It'd be nice to know, or it'd be nice to have a comparison to what Constantinople would be like. But yeah, having development basically be civilization value, I guess that's the closest comparison I can really make. Alright, we'll see where it goes. Control, on the other hand, directly represents the power you have over the county. This naturally decreases during sieges and by forcefully seizing territory, taking the place of the new administration modifiers from CK2, which I hate, so I'm glad that's going away. If you don't pace yourself and use your marshal to increase control in newly conquered territories, you might find yourself with a slew of useless land. This also increases the importance of keeping peasant rabble and similar nuisances out of your lands. Each county also has an opinion of their holder, referred to as the popular opinion. This represents the sentiment of the local peasants and tends to decrease if you're not of their culture or faith, promoting the use of local lords, vassals of the local culture and faith to handle such territory for you, as converting it will take quite some time. Unhappy counties tend to cause problems down the line. More on this in another dev diary. So he's talking about revolts and rebellions and such. Now, onto the holdings themselves. Each county will have a certain amount of slots available for baronies, with some being constructed at the start and others not. The 3 core types of map holding remain unchanged. Castles, cities, and temples make up the majority of holdings on the map, each with their own main purpose. Castles provide levies and fortifications, cities provide taxes with secondary focus on development, and temples provide an even mix of taxes and levies with a secondary focus on increasing control. This means if you want a county to develop really fast, building many cities might be a thing for you. If you want a resilient domain, perhaps you prefer castles, etc. Or maybe a mix of all 3. Based on the terrain of the province, each holding has access to a number of buildings. Regular buildings primarily focus on increasing taxes and levies, with some secondary effects such as increasing fortifications or increasing supply. These are usually straight upgrades and are long-term investments that you should always consider, much like in our other games. So yeah, just buildings. Yeah, I can't see that why it wouldn't be just a straight upgrade. But he does say usually straight upgrade, so maybe not always. So, constructing a new building. Bastions and curtain walls. Farms and fields. Pastoral lands. Got a barracks. Giving levies, some money and fort level. Taking 3 years to build. Fairly expensive, 250 gold. I like that they've got each a little bit of artwork. Quite like the artwork as well, to be honest. Seems alright. Seems alright. Although, I don't know how big this window is supposed to be. I mean, that is a very small scroll bar. So you're going to have to scroll down a long way to get to the rest of the buildings in this menu. This probably could be an awful lot more compact, let's be fair. Yeah, I imagine some people are going to complain quite heavily about that. Nice that you can show details on the buildings as well, instead of just, oh, let's just build this, blah, blah, blah. You know, I like it. It's good. To spice things up, we've also introduced the concept of duchy capital buildings. These buildings can only be built in the capital barony of any de jure duchy, limiting their availability across the map. To build them and have them be active, you need to hold their associated duchy title personally. This way you can't simply hoard counties in which you can build these special buildings. Just as in CK2, you would get severe penalties for holding too many duchies personally. The buildings themselves are very expensive, but come in many flavors, allowing you to tailor their experience. The military academy's track of buildings increase the effectiveness of your knights and allow you to have more of them. Establishing marches will make the entire duchy more defensible. Siege workshops will increase the effectiveness of your trebuchets, and so on. I like that. Duchy level buildings. That seems smart. I like it. Sort of reminds me of the trade company buildings in EU4, where you have to have the entire... Well, you don't have to have the entire state, I don't think. But it's a state-level building, and this is a duchy-level building. So we've got military academies giving army maintenance modifier, more knights, more knight effectiveness. It costs a lot of money, takes a long time to build. Strategic marshes giving more defender advantage. I like that. Supply limit, fort level, garrison size, levy reinforcement. And siege workshops giving more effectiveness and toughness on your siege weapons. Alright then. We also have the concept of special buildings. These aim to represent the historical buildings, both ancient and those built during the time period. Placed under predetermined baronies on the map, you have the usual suspects such as the pyramids or the Colosseum, along with more fringe or lesser known constructions such as Offa's Dyke or the Buddhas of Mabmian. Some of these will be possible to construct during the course of the game, such as the Tower of London or the Alhambra. All of these constructions provide unique and interesting bonuses, with some of them being represented with 3D models on the map. Ooh, very nice. That's it for this time. Stay tuned for the next Dev Diary. We'll tell you about the new scheme mechanics. Lovely. So, looking at all the Spy Mastery stuff next time. Well, I like that. I like that quite a bit. I think a lot of people are going to complain about this UI. There seems to be an awful lot of wasted space, and I know some people are not so fond of that, let's say. But yeah, honestly, I can't find anything to really complain about. I think it's good. It's good. There are some comments from the developers underneath this post in the forums, so we'll have a quick look at that. Only a couple. So, is the capital of each duchy fixed as a specific barony? If not, can you move the capital? Will the duchy buildings be destroyed? Duchy buildings will be constructed in a specific barony. For example, the building for the Duchy of Essex will have to be constructed in London. Didn't really answer the question. But hey-ho. Great Works is now essentially exist within these special buildings. Won't be as involved as the CK2 Great Works system, will only represent historical special buildings. So he's talking about these duchy level buildings that are basically going to be on the map. These kind of things down here. Three types of holding remain unchanged. Cities, castles, temples. So makes up the minority of holdings? Tribes and empty holdings. Okay, so that answers the question that I had. Is this in lieu of capital duchy bonuses? Some of us are dying to know what the state of capital county and capital duchy bonuses will be in CK3. Pretty much the same, if I understand you correctly. You get more levies out of your capital and the territory within your capital duchy. Alright, well, that's all they have for us. So, I would love to know what you guys think. A bit of a shorter dev diary this time. I don't have much to say, really. I quite like it. I love that there is art for the different panels. I love that there's art for each of the different buildings, and, you know, it's just looking really quite nice right now. I'm impressed. But are you? Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or any comments on what you've just heard and read, then feel free to leave them down there. Click like if you like the video, and if you want to keep up to date with CK3 news and updates, then subscribe, because I'm going to be going over all the dev diaries. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.